Welcome to the Performance Enhancing Podcast. It's like steroids for your brain. A podcast for people looking to live life at their peak potential. Chock full of real-world tools and knowledge that you can apply in your life today. By providing you with a lens into the lives, beliefs, practices, and actions of those who are already living extraordinary lives, the Performance Enhancing Podcast will help you shift your mindset or create that change in your daily rituals and habits so you can explode with success in the areas of life that are most important to you. So get ready for another dose of Performance Enhancing Podcast with SatoriPrime. Here's your host, Ilan Ferdman.
Hello, my fellow friends. Welcome back to another Pep Talk or Performance Enhancing Podcast with your host, Ilan Ferdman. So today I want to share with you something that I shared on Facebook during a Facebook Live, which, by the way, if you aren't subscribed to my Facebook, whether you follow me or are just friends with me on Facebook, make sure you go and do that. And also in the options, make sure you mark to see my posts first, not as the default setting. And then you'll actually get notifications when we go live. And what we're starting to do is do a lot more live content, gets you guys involved and asking questions and commenting and all that stuff. So if you're interested to be engaged with what it is that we're putting out there, then make sure you go and do that. So this was something that I did after reading an email that I received from Brian Johnson about systems and how systems aren't broken. They're just there to intended to do what they do. And so it went off really well. I got a lot of awesome feedback from it, and I wanted to share it with you because I think it's a really, really powerful message and a really good context about what we do as coaches, for example, what we do for other people, and also for you to go through your life and realize instead of making yourself wrong or making your results wrong or anything like that, just realizing that your systems are outdated and that your system is just ineffective for creating the result that you want and how to upgrade them. So I hope you enjoy my little rant, if you will, about broken, outdated systems. So enjoy. Hey everyone, Ilan here. Wanted to shoot live. It is absolutely a ridiculous day outside. I don't know how much of this you guys will be able to see, but it is literally one of those dream about perfect days. And I want to talk to you about systems today. And it's funny because if Brian Johnson's watching, I just want to thank you publicly for all of the insights every single morning, but this one really made me think. And the email this morning spoke about systems and how they are the systems that you have, or the results that you have in your life at any given time, are predicated on the systems that you have in place. And if you're not happy with the results that you have in your life, then what you need to do is alter the system. So that was kind of impregnated in my brain as I'm going through my morning. And today, for those that don't know, in the U.S. is Democratic primaries right here in New York where you can vote. So I went to vote. This is not going to be a political thing by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just giving you kind of my idea of the day. So I go to try to vote, and turns out, ironically enough, that I am not registered either a Democrat or a Republican. Now, I'm thinking back to the time when I was first able to vote, which was probably when I was like 18 years old or something like that. And even my young, naive, possibly stupid self back then, I don't know, at some heart core of me just knew that it's not a party that I'm interested in voting for or anything like that. It's the person. Get away from me, fly. It's the person and the human being. And the reason I was actually called to vote, I've never voted in the primaries before. Just never had an interest. But the reason I actually went today was because there's a man and a woman running. And the man, I said to my wife yesterday, I think he's just a tremendous human being. Like, aside from being a politician and all that stuff, which I think they're all garbage, he's just an actually great human being that cares about other human beings. And it's so, I said the words to my wife,
I'd vote for him just because he's a great human being. And as I said it, I was like, holy crap, I don't think I've ever said that about a politician in my entire life. So anyway, here's the funny part is I go to vote, and because I'm not registered, either a Democrat or a Republican, I was not able to vote today. Which I kind of laughed to myself, and I was like, my 18-year-old smart, naive self put me in this predicament. And in order for me to now go and vote, I have to go see a judge, which I was already informed. In order to make that happen, the wait to see the judge, who might not approve this change anyway, is right now at least 5 hours long. So again, Brian Johnson's email comes swirling into my mind, and I'm thinking systems. How crazy is that, right? Like, all I want to do is actually go and contribute in some small fashion of a way, and I can't. I can't, because the system that's in place right now doesn't allow for that. So how does this all tie into us? You have the results in your life right now because of a system that not you, I mean present day you, put in place, but most likely an 18-year-old, a 25-year-old, a 30, whatever it is, decades old version of you put those systems in place. And you're living inside of that system, trying to create other goals in your life, trying to fulfill on dreams that you want and things that you're dying, whoa, that's a big B, and dying to create by sticking vision boards of a house that you dream of or a car that you dream of and stuff like that. And I'm not taking anything away from that. I definitely think there's power in there. But the fact remains that in order to achieve those things, your system that you have, and I'm talking more from a personal, like, mindset system, as well as just a tactical, like, daily things that you do, that system isn't built to create those kind of results. Just like I wanted to vote, the system that's built right now does not allow me to vote. Okay? You have a system. What you need to start analyzing is the system that you've built for yourself, the one that you think is going to get you to where it is that you want to go. And if it's not, then really start being in an inquiry. Well, what system would that be? I can tell you that almost 5 years ago, this June will be 5 years, I changed my system. I changed the things that I do on a day-to-day basis to allow me to live this life. Like, that's my house. I can't believe that that's my house. This is where I live. Like, this is my neighborhood right now. You guys, if you're following me, you probably saw the post of the car, right? How I manifested the car in 2 years and 4 months, from being on unemployment checks to manifesting that car on my driveway after seeing it at the auto show. I optimized and changed my system. Now, here's something that I want to make you guys all aware of. When you change your system, just like, this country needs a massive system change. But when you change your system, what happens is it's like you're grinding all of the machinery to a halt. Everything has to stop. And what it seems like to us is that you're taking massive steps back. And yes, maybe that is accurate. But here's the question you always need to ask yourself is, the system that you have built right now, you know the path, you know the road, you know where that leads. It's like that scene in The Matrix where he's like, let me out of the car, and she opens the door and he's like looking down that pathway, and she goes, Neo, there's no answers for you down there. You know where that road leads. Here, I'm not telling you where we're going to go, but at least you have a chance at something new. So when you're afraid to change your system, when you're afraid to go out and do something new, I know it's not even you that's afraid, it's this brain, because the unknown to the brain is scary. But when you're there, just realize that what you've built so far, as great as your life is, I'm not saying that your life is not great by any stretch of the imagination, but if you're someone that's looking to get to another level, if you're someone that's looking at what's next, then what you need to start realizing is that what's next is going to require a new way of thinking. It's going to require some new skills. It's going to require you to implement a new system. And that means taking a step back. And here's the tricky part. To you, it might not be that big a deal. But we don't live just with us. There are other people giving us all sorts of opinions about how we live our lives and how our lives look and how they should look and all that stuff. And we buy that shit. And so when your friends and family look at you because you're downsizing or scaling down your life for another year or two so you can build something new, that's what hurts you. And it's not you, it hurts your ego. Your ego's like, well, no, Elon, we've lived this life. We can't go back there. What are they going to think? Fuck them. That's what they're going to think. It's your life. You get to say how it goes. And if you realize that the road and the system that you've built for yourself is not taking you to where you are, then change the goddamn system. What's up, Paul? Yeah. And those 2 steps back, like Paul's saying, you don't know where that's going to lead. But I promise you, it will lead to somewhere different. That's the key. And if where you're going is not where you want to go, then eat up the 2 steps back. And here's the thing. For me, I was actually in a community, and I created accountability. So I obviously started SatoriPrime with my brother. You guys know that. And look, when I was down, I would contact him. He would pull me up. When he was down, I would do the same thing for him. But we made sure to surround ourselves with like-minded individuals who are also on a new path. And when you surround yourself with those kind of people, it's much easier to get inspired. It's much easier to get the fuel that you need to continue to work in that direction. But I'm telling you right now, creating vision boards, hoping and wishing that your life will turn around, having a a lottery mentality of like, I'm going to win the lottery or this magical thing's going to happen. It's not. It's not. I've interviewed hundreds of entrepreneurs, and I can unequivocally say this. Luck only occurs to those that bust their ass. You want to create in your life, you got to hustle. You got to be willing to do the work that other people are not willing to do. That's how luck comes to people. Now, I'm all for luck, but I think we create it. So today, take a look at your systems. Are the systems you have in place, both mentally up here and tactily? Like, what are you doing? You want to create $10,000 a month, but you're working a 9-to-5 job where every year they give you a 5% raise. Guess what? Shit ain't changing. That's just how it's going to be. You know the future of that system. So guess what? I know it's scary to leave that comfort and security and go and try to build something on your own. I get it. It's scary. I was there. But at least that path gives you an access to that thing. Doing what you're doing right now cannot absolutely do that. And your boss is not going to walk to your desk and say, hey, you know what, John? You've been absolutely fantastic this year. We're going to quadruple your pay. Ain't fucking happening. Take a look at your systems today, guys. And if they're not serving you, go and find systems. Talk to people like myself. Feel free. Comment below. Private message me. Talk to people that have systems that inspire you. Talk to people that have systems you're like, damn, that's great. How did you do that? Here's what I do know. Personally for me, and I also know for a lot of people that coach and help and mentor, we love to work with great people. We love to work with people who are motivated and up to something. Talking about doing shit is not doing shit. So if you see someone out there you're like, oh my God, they have the life that I want, or if they have the business that I want, or they're the dad that I want, what's the worst you can do to reach out to them? What are they going to say? No? Who cares? Move on to the next one. I've contacted so many authors of books that I've read recently. Every single one responds. I'm blown away every single time. Just try. Try. Because if you're out there doing something, I promise you these people will be motivated enough to help you. So take a look at your systems, and if they're not serving you, find a way to find better, upgraded systems that will get you to where you are. All right? Love you all. Have an amazing, amazing day. My next live feeds will probably be from Israel. I'm leaving on Thursday afternoon, so I'll be there Friday. All right? Have an amazing day, everyone, and go upgrade those systems.
Hey, so if you enjoyed that, then a couple things again. One, make sure you go and you follow me on Facebook, whether it's a follow or just add me as a friend, whatever. And when you do that, make sure in the options, whether it's on desktop or on your phone, you move my post to priority versus just the default, which will just show up in there. And when you do that, or if you catch me on a live, there's an option where you can just check a box and you'll get pop-ups when I go live. So you can just come and join us and we can have some fun together. And if this resonated with you and what you're looking for is like, okay, so I realize the systems that I have in place are not getting me to where I want to get to, then I want to make an offer to you. Go to SatoriPrime.com/have it all. One word, no spaces, no nothing. SatoriPrime.com, have it all. And you can listen over there to some of our students and the results that they've been able to produce in working with us. I recommend that you then register for the upcoming webinar. We host them once a week. You can catch them again, either on Facebook Live or via a proper registration link. And we will share these distinctions with you. And ultimately, what we're doing is bringing people into community where we have accountability partners, where we play 90-day games, and where we share with you these type of distinctions to dismantle the systems that don't work and build new systems that do work so that you consistently and with velocity start producing the results that actually matter to you in your life and you start creating the life that you want. So if that sounds sexy to you, SatoriPrime.com/have it all. I would love, love, love to start interacting with you and sharing some of the stuff that we've been doing to completely alter people's lives. So again, SatoriPrime.com/have it all. And until we speak again, have an amazing day, my friends.
Did you run through doors till you hit the floor? Did you read my eyes and my aching thoughts? Did you walk through walls till you had to grow? Oh my God, your smile and my soundless calls.
you.